peoples? Mr. Anomaly coming at you again. Another day with Mr. A. Shout out to the channel Psycrypt. This is the female loyalty study. So dangerous, the Nazis buried it. I haven't watched it yet. Gonna do a live reaction. If this is anything like I think it's gonna be, this should be interesting. It made me think about the just here recently, the Russia-Ukraine, how a lot of the Ukrainian women were soliciting to the Russian soldiers whenever they was invading. You know, there's no loyalty here. There's no loyalty here. Women going to survive. The point of all this is internal cultivation. You know, female nature. Dudes are this hopeless romantic fairy tale ideology. She's going to be there for me forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. That's not how this works. It's not realistic. And here we go. Let me see what we got to say here. The surest way to destroy a people is to deny and obliterate their own understanding of their history. Okay.
What if I told you that one of the most devastating psychological weapons ever deployed against men in the 20th century wasn't a bomb, a bullet, or a propaganda poster, but a single, buried sociological report? A document so explosive, so utterly contradictory to the foundational myth of a totalitarian regime that the most ruthless political machine in modern history, the Nazi SS, classified it, hid it, and hoped it would never see the light of day.
Damn.
This isn't a conspiracy theory, this is historical fact. And within the next minutes, you will understand why this single act of bureaucratic suppression reveals a dark, uncomfortable truth about female nature, male obligation, and the silent war that has been waged against the masculine spirit for generations. This is not just history. This is a key to understanding the modern world, a case study in why so many men today feel a profound sense of betrayal, and a roadmap for how to reclaim the power that was systematically engineered out of you. The story of this report is the story of the Black Pill, written not on internet forums, but in the blood and ink of the Third Reich. Before we begin,
The Black Pill, okay.
if you're serious about personal growth, not just the comforting lies, but the brutal, unvarnished truth, then you'll find real value in my ebook, The Black Book of Human Nature. It's a practical manual that breaks down the suppressed truths of human behavior, giving you the tools to finally understand yourself and the world more deeply. The link is in the pinned comment.
The Black Pill. You already know what time it is then. Okay.
Our story begins not in the chaos of war, but in the cold, calculating mind of Heinrich Himmler. As the Reichsfuhrer SS, Himmler was the chief architect of the Nazis' racial ideology. He wasn't just a madman, he was a bureaucrat of madness, a man obsessed with building a 1,000-year Reich on a foundation of what he considered biological purity. This required the complete loyalty and unwavering commitment of every German, man and woman. For men, the path was clear: valor in battle, stoic duty, and a willingness to die for the state. But for women, the role was more complex. They were the guardians of the hearth, the mothers of the race, the stable, loyal center around which the warrior could orbit.
Okay. May not agree with his ideologies, but let's see what he has to say as far as about dealing with the woman here. Again, I don't care what color, again, man, woman, it is what it is. Let's see what he got to say.
The propaganda apparatus of the Third Reich was dedicated to reinforcing this image. The faithful German woman, her heart swelling with pride as she sent her son to the front, her loyalty as unshakable as the mountains of Bavaria. This was the myth, and Himmler, paranoid and detail-obsessed, wanted to know if it was true. So in the early 1940s, he commissioned a secret study. This wasn't to be some public opinion poll. This was an internal SS security matter. The man tasked with this sensitive mission was SS Oberfuhrer Dr. Wilhelm Spengler, a sociologist attached to the SD, the SS Intelligence Service. His orders were simple, yet profound. Investigate the morale and, specifically, the loyalty of German women to their men who were fighting at the front.
Okay.
Spengler and his team were given unprecedented access. They could cross-reference male censorship reports, interview soldiers on leave, debrief field police, and analyze internal party communications. They were to deliver the unvarnished truth. And what they found shattered the central pillar of Nazi gender ideology into a million pieces.
We already know where this is going. Mister trying to have the perfect race over here, but you're trying to control that woman. You can't do it. You cannot do it. You caught my interest. Let's shattered it into a million pieces. Okay.
You are a young German soldier, let truth. And what they found shattered the central pillar of Nazi gender ideology into a million pieces. Imagine you are a young German soldier. Let's call him Karl. You are 19 years old, freezing in a foxhole somewhere outside Stalingrad. The world has shrunk to mud, fear, and the constant thunder of artillery. The only thing that keeps you human, the only tether to the world you once knew, is the letters from home. Specifically, the letters from your sweetheart, Anna. You met before the war, promised to wait for each other. Her letters are filled with talk of her work in the factory, how she misses you, how proud she is. You carry her photograph, the edges frayed from constant handling. It is your talisman against the horror. Now, imagine the mail call. You get a letter, but it's not from Anna. It's from your mother. Her words are hesitant, careful. She tells you that Anna has been seen frequently with a French prisoner of war assigned to a local work detail. Then she says Anna has moved in with a high-ranking party Nazi official, a man in his 40s who has a heart condition that keeps him safely out of the war. The letter ends with, "I'm so sorry, my son. Be strong." In that moment, the foxhole doesn't just feel cold, it feels like a tomb. Your reason for surviving, for fighting, evaporates. What are you dying for? Not for the fatherland, an abstract concept that now seems like a cruel joke. You are dying for a regime that has taken your youth, your freedom, and now your reason for living.
I feel bad for a lot of those soldiers, man. This is a lot of soldiers' realities, man, regardless of what spectrum you're fighting for. It's the same loop. You're in that foxhole, hearing all that artillery. Death is right around the corner. Doesn't matter. Your only hope was that love, that woman at home. How many times we heard this story? How many times have we this is all too common. Nothing new under the freaking sun. Let's continue.
Abstract concept that now seems like a cruel joke. You are dying for a regime that has taken your youth, your freedom, and now your reason for living. This wasn't an isolated tragedy. According to the Spengler report, it was an epidemic. The initial findings were so shocking that Spengler's team deepened their investigation. They discovered that infidelity among soldiers' wives and girlfriends was not just common, it was rampant. And the data they compiled was chillingly specific. In major cities like Berlin, Hamburg, and Cologne, estimates suggested that over half of the women with partners at the front were engaged in extramarital affairs.
Your perfect human race right there. Your perfect white woman, the perfect woman. Running rampant, extramarital affairs, acting a fool out here in the streets. You can't, female nature, bro. I don't care what color. Man. It is what it is. And again, like talking about the guy in the foxhole, man, your hope, your salvation is the love, the romance of that woman. What does this tell you? You have to figure this out for yourself, man. Internal cultivation. And it's like that now. Nothing's changed. It's our war is a spiritual war, but it's like that now. Is it any different right now? A lot of young men are by themselves. The hope of romance, the hope of a loving woman. A lot of dudes out here depressed AF. I got some on my channel. I talk about not having sex, man. Lonely dudes out here. The double L's, lust and loneliness. It's happening today. Nothing's changed. It's just a different war we're in right now. But we're in a war. It's a spiritual war.
Real Berlin, Hamburg, and Cologne, estimates suggested that over half of the women with partners at the front were engaged in extramarital affairs. But the real kicker, the detail that sent a chill down the spines of the SS analysts, was the pattern of this betrayal. It wasn't random. The report meticulously documented that women were overwhelmingly unfaithful with men who represented one of two things: heightened status or immediate security. They were leaving their frontline soldiers for high-ranking party functionaries, industrialists, and factory managers, men with power and privilege.
Nothing news under the sun, y'all. Nothing news under the sun. Y'all know I gotta have my 2 cents on this. Has anything changed? Has anything gotten better? Move accordingly, bro. Wow.
Are taking up with foreign soldiers for high-ranking party functionaries, industrialists, and factory managers, men with power and privilege. Or they were taking up with foreign workers and prisoners of war, not out of some grand romantic passion, but as a transactional exchange. A French POW could provide coffee, chocolate, or other scarce luxuries. He represented a resource in a time of deprivation. The women's loyalty, the report coldly concluded, was not to the man nor to the nation, but to a primal calculus of survival and advantage.
Has anything changed? Survival and advantage. Just did that video the other day in China, looking for dudes to pay for their meals because they broke. They do that now, looking for the dude. I'm broke. I'll just go ahead and get a dude to pay for my meals. I can't afford it. The makeup, paying for makeup and all that, cosmetics. A lot of women can't afford that. They need dudes to pay for that shit. There are some women out there, but a lot of them can't even afford that. This is good stuff. Let's keep going, bro.
Consider the case, the report coldly concluded, was not to the man nor to the nation, but to a primal calculus of survival and advantage. Consider the case of Frau Schmidt, a composite figure drawn from the report's case studies. Her husband, a sergeant in the Afrika Korps, was missing in action, presumed captured. Within 3 months of receiving the news, Frau Schmidt had become the mistress of a local Gauleiter's assistant. She wrote to the Red Cross to stop searching for her husband, stating it was a waste of resources. When a neighbor confronted her, she reportedly said, "A living dog is better than a dead lion." This wasn't the heroic, self-sacrificing woman of propaganda posters.
Wow.
This was hypergamy in its rawest and most brutal
3
form.
months.
The report even noted a macabre phenomenon. Divorce rates in Germany skyrocketed during the war, initiated predominantly by women whose husbands were at the front. They were legally severing ties to men they perceived as losers, as liabilities, as ghosts that had not yet had the decency to die.
Wow, guys, this is true because they were talking about that World War II here in America, the high-ass divorce rates. Well, they said a lot of people did get married before the war, and then after the war, a lot of soldiers was coming home, finding their wives were pregnant with other kids, other dudes' kids, married to other dudes. This is not uncommon, man. This is not uncommon. Again, bro, I'm not trying to. All I was doing is to confirm what I'm saying. Monk mode, absolute. Learn to love yourself. Quit trying to look for that hope in a freaking fickle woman. Do I hate women? No, but this idea of romance is unconditional love, what we're sold, it's a bunch of bullshit. Internal cultivation is what I'm promoting for those you think that are getting upset. Learn to love that man in the mirror. I don't know how many times I'm gonna keep saying it, man.
Was a bomb. To men they perceived as losers, as liabilities, as ghosts that had not yet had the decency to die. The Spengler Report was a bomb. It provided empirical, data-driven proof that the idealized concept of female loyalty, the very bedrock upon which the morale of the Wehrmacht was supposed to rest, was a fiction. The implications were catastrophic for the regime. If this information leaked, it would decimate the fighting spirit of the German army. What soldier would risk his life for a homeland that had already cuckolded him? The report proved that the Nazi state, for all its bluster about strength and loyalty, had failed its most basic psychological contract with its men. It had asked for everything, and in return, it could not even guarantee the fidelity of their women.
Can't control the woman, bro. Not even the Nazis. They had to bury that freaking research because that would have killed the morale of their men who was dying for a cause. You can't control the Phoenix, bro. You can't control them. And again, I said before, I'll say it again, the majority of women do not like most men. Heard them with them French POWs, them French Chads. You don't think they had no French Chads up in there that was broke prisoners of war that was clapping their cheeks? Come on, man. Ain't nothing new under the sun. It is what it is, bro. It's good shit.
On reading the final draft, was reportedly furious, But his anger wasn't directed at the women, it was directed at the report itself. The truth was an inconvenience. The solution was not to address the problem, but to bury the evidence.
Sound familiar?
The Spengler report was classified as Geheime Reichssache, secret Reich matter, stamped for the eyes of the highest echelon only, and locked away in the deepest vaults of the SS archives.
Bro, has anything changed? This truth they can't get out there because it's going to cause all kinds of anarchy. Let's bury the truth. Only those at the top of the top know this. Has anything changed? We are in a freaking loop. How many times have we been doing this, man?
To erase a truth that was too dangerous to acknowledge. This act of burial is one of the most significant yet overlooked events of the war.
We're talking about the war right now. How about the imprint? I talk about the imprint all the time. Y'all get quiet about that. Y'all don't like when I talk about that imprint. That imprint is what y'all are dealing with when they having whole phases. They're bound to other men on the spiritual scale. Y'all want to silence me. Y'all are doing it to me. Y'all are doing it now. Y'all are doing it freaking now. The imprint is that black book that they talking about that I talk about all the goddamn time. Harsh truths that you don't want to accept. Then I talk about the dudes who sell their souls to bang these harpies. Yeah, you in the same freaking boat, you moral motherfuckers. Is that moral? Is that ethical? I ain't joking about my ethicals. I ain't joking about my ethicals. Y'all like when I talk like that. That black pill truth. I tell you, man. I tell you, bro. I love it. I love going against the grain, man. I love going against the grain. I don't give a fuck, man. 2 middle fingers to this goddamn society. We're going to speak the truth over here, man. Whether I'm doing it by myself, feel y'all listening, one against a million, fuck y'all, man. I'm going to keep speaking the truth, man. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed, bro. Let's keep going.
Erase a truth that was too dangerous to acknowledge. This act of burial is one of the most significant yet overlooked events of the war. It's a moment where ideology collided with reality, and reality was deemed too dangerous to exist. But why does this matter to you sitting here today?
It's the same loop.
Because the burial of the Spengler report is the ultimate historical black pill. It is a case study that demonstrates a universal principle, one that transcends the specific horrors of Nazism. Those in power will always seek to control the narrative.
Just said that. I just freaking said that. Yeah, I'm doing it because I got to add my spin on it too. I just ain't trying to milk it. Appreciate this channel, Psycrypt, but I got to add my spin on it too. I just said that. Nothing's changed. We are in the same loop right now. We just not hearing freaking artillery and bombs and stuff around us, but we're in the same goddamn war right now, spiritual war. Silencing people like myself. Black hate speech for calling this out. Hate speech for calling out the imprint. Hate speech, y'all. Those are in power. Too many Potiphars and Ahabs in power, you goddamn pussies. Too many of them. Way too many. Nothing's changed, man. Back then in the Bible days, same thing now, you goddamn cucks. Using your power and prestige, trying to control the truth, control the narrative. Did that video today. We all fucked the same hoes. That Joy Taylor video. Y'all didn't like that, did you? That's who's in all those corporate execs, those Diddy parties, all that stuff, television, music, media, everything we're consuming. Those perverts and the fucking high-ups, all of them a bunch of weirdos. Well, I tell you, man, this is all I can do, y'all. This is all I can do, you know, until I can. This is all I can do. I'm fighting this is all I can do, man. I'm just a dude, man. I'm just a dude fighting a goddamn ocean.
Most dangerous principle, one that transcends the specific horrors of Nazism. Those in power will always seek to control the narrative, and often the most dangerous truth to any power structure is the truth about the nature of women's loyalty to men. The Nazi state, for all its evil, was a gynocentric state in its demands on male sacrifice. It demanded that men be disposable, that they offer their lives as currency for the state's expansion, with the promise that their women and children would be protected and would remain faithful.
And it's everywhere. That's just not the Nazis in America. All these other places. I'm not a history buff, but y'all know the loop continues, man. Nothing's changed. They can't put this out because again, it's gonna demoralize the men. We're in a freaking romance recession. Everything's shutting down. People aren't buying anything anymore. Again, because the truth's out here now. But again, they pacified us enough for so long now, they don't need us anymore. That's the scary part. They pacified us. They deceived us for so long now. They don't give a shit that the truth is out because now they have AI and now they got robots and stuff coming. They don't really need the masses anymore. Congratulations, we played ourselves. Yep, they don't need us now. That's why they don't care. They don't care. This is wild, bro. Nothing new under the sun.
That they offer their lives as currency for the state's expansion, with the promise that their women and children would be protected and would remain faithful. The Spengler report proved that this promise was a lie. The system was willing to ask men to die for an illusion. This pattern did not end in 1945. It simply evolved. The modern world makes the same implicit contract with men.
Just said that.
Work yourself to an early grave in a soul-crushing job. Take on debt. Assume all the risks. Be a provider. The promised reward? Stability, respect, and the loyal woman by your side.
Boom, nothing's changed. I just said that, bro. He is absolutely right. Nothing has changed. And of course, what's happened now? A lot of young men are upset. A lot of young men don't want to try. Because for what? A lot of guys say, for what? You're not going to get the loyalty of a woman. That's a goddamn lie. What type of society we live in? You ain't shit without a woman. You ain't shit unless you have sex. You ain't nothing without a woman. A man's confidence is through that woman. And they know this. That's why they got to keep feeding you these freaking lies. And so many men are falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. And it's all a goddamn lie to keep you a freaking slave. 98% of people in Satan's pocket. 98% of people are in Satan's pocket. I said that. And that goddamn slit is the cause of it. And the majority of situations is that freaking woman. It enslaves you. The idea of romance, the idea of stability. I'll go out and work hard, be a little corporate ant. Little cross the T, dot the I, mother sucker. Don't ask questions. Keep my head down. Love, loyalty, unconditional romance. I'm going to mold myself. Just did that. I'm the man who molds himself to a freaking woman. The man who molds himself to... Well, I love being vindicated. I love being vindicated. I told you guys. I said, I can tell these dudes who put on these acts to get these women, man. It's like, it just leaves. Y'all don't like when I talk like this. I don't care. Click off. I don't care. I've been right this whole damn time. I've been right this whole time. Not to freaking sell my soul and follow suit. Now you want to have sex because I only want to be a part of this crap. When you casually sleeping around, you're part of all this romance. You're part of all this shit when you casually hooking up, coaching all these niggas, banging these fucking harlots and shit. You're all connected to this shit. I've been saying this crap for the longest time. Y'all think I'm crazy. I knew it. I freaking knew it. The answer is internal cultivation, by the way. Be a freaking independent free thinker. Be your own individual. Your own individual identity. Fuck these people that are all programmed by shitty ass music, the lust for Jezebels. I've been saying this for years. Y'all been thinking I'm crazy. He's just confirming it. I've been doing this in 1945, the freaking Germans and all that, the propaganda, the gynocentrism. Nothing's changed, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry to wake myself up. I don't care. I don't care. Y'all thought I was crazy every time I'm not having sex. I knew it. I freaking knew it. It's all a goddamn program. It's all an illusion. Man, I don't give a fuck. I'll be an independent free thinker. I'll take the desert 99 times out of 2. At least I have my freaking free thoughts, my independence. It's about as free as I can. I'm glad I didn't. I tell you, man, and it's all a goddamn lie. We all fuck the same hoes. Y'all like when I talk like that. We're all dipping, and what I be telling y'all, the cup of lemmings, we're all drinking from the same spirit. Y'all, they're all drinking from the same, I ain't got nothing to do with this. Drinking from the same spiritual well, the cup of lemmings. Ooh, I love it. I freaking love it. And I told you guys I'm completely indifferent, by the way. I'm completely stoic and indifferent, bro. There ain't no haughtiness here. There's no pride here. The Most High kept me. Because again, I can't get too full of myself. I've been saying it for the longest time. It's all fugazi, fugazi. It's all a freaking lie. You got to be a simulation. What I've been saying, you got to be a simulation to bang a simulation. Okay, let me stop blanking myself off here. Let's continue.
All the risks. Be a provider. The promised reward? Stability, respect, and the loyal woman by your side. But just as in 1943, that loyalty is conditional. It is conditional on your performance, your status, your ability to continually provide a sense of security and advantage.
Now it's so bad now, you can do all that, protect and provide security, and she's still gonna tank it. That's how bad it is now. Love is not enough. Do I gotta play the clips for y'all again? Love is not enough. I got the perfect man. I'm miserable. I'm and that's all intentional to break up the homes. They like your kids having all that destruction and chaos because you're really not gonna be a threat. You know, divorced home and you're barely getting by. I got no masculine man in the house. You got your emasculated kids. You got your daughters on OnlyFans and your simp-ass sons and your limp-wristed. They know what they're doing. It's even worse now. 1945 they was doing it. It's 2025, bro. It's even worse. It's even more diabolical. How many clips I got to keep playing of perfect marriages and women are freaking bored and miserable and they got the stability and they creating problems. There isn't no problem. That's the point. It's nothing. There's nothing here. There's no drama. That's the point. There's nothing wrong. That's the point. What? 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 Oh my gosh, I love being.
It is conditional on your
parties.
performance, your status, your ability to continually provide a sense of security and advantage. When you fail, when you show vulnerability, when the market crashes and you lose your job, the mechanism of betrayal is eerily similar.
Nothing's
the divorce
changed.
papers replaced the Dear John letter, but the underlying principle is the same.
Still there.
The Spangler Report is not just a historical document, it is a mirror. It shows men the uncomfortable reality that their worth in the eyes of the system, and often in the eyes of the women the system conditions, is transactional. Understanding this is not about succumbing to bitterness. It is the first essential step toward liberation.
Thank you. That's what I said at the beginning of the video, bro. I'm glad he's covering it. Good shit, bro. Good stuff. Because again, a lot of dudes get bitter because you can't do the fairy tale ideology. And I can tell you a couple of three things. I had to go in on these Ted Bundy Juniors talking about hurting themselves and hurting women because you're a romantic pussy. This should be liberating. I've been saying this should be liberating. This should free you. You don't give a fuck. Why do you think I get on this channel talking crap and just being myself, dancing and singing and stuff? And that's 100% authentic. I do that when the camera's off. I just be myself. I don't fuck y'all. I don't care. Y'all be hiding behind masks. You moral motherfuckers. I'm playing it. I don't care. I don't care. I'm playing it. Y'all clicked on my face. I don't care. Doing this, playing the game. You part of it too. I don't care.
Now are trying to state from the beginning what are your intentions. And guys shame me all the time about, man, you should be direct, open. Let me tell y'all guys something. You in law school or med school or anything like that, you're going to get this once you become high value. Right? But I understand some of you young guys might not get it as much as somebody who's over 27, right? But understand this right here. Guys shame me for not being direct with this. I wouldn't get no ass if I didn't come up with my catchphrase about I'm open to it if the right person comes along, but I don't rush. Guys, I would never get no ass.
What does that tell you? He has to mold himself to the woman, and y'all call that alpha. Hey, shout out to AMS, get your bag, bro. I'm just calling that like he said. This is part of the system. We all fuck the same hoes. Y'all don't like when I talk like that because most of y'all are doing it. I don't give a fuck, man. I'm speaking as real. I'm flipping tables. I done told y'all, man. I've been calling this out for years. I've been calling all this out. In 2017, when I got up here, and I'm not. And again, I'm telling you guys, I'm not part of this crap, man. Mentally, I'm not part of this social engineering. I'm not part of this program. Y'all are getting some real over here, man. That's all I can be is be real, man. This is part of it. This is selling your soul. This is tainting yourself. Just to get some freaking hot boxes connected to the system. You got to play the game. And yeah, I got game, I'll play. You got to do this shit. Or you just got an outright trick. Huh?
Every goddamn girl is stating this shit from the get-go now. Is a bitch wrote a book that's very popular called Hardball, that basically teaching women how to be direct and ask this shit on the first date. I ain't gonna be no ethical motherfucker around here jerking off every night with my ethicals.
Listen to the pride. The pride, guys. Listen to how proud this individual is to be part of this freaking system, part of this witchcraft. And this is what y'all be flocking towards, huh? Hey, man. I hold a reflection, bro. This is why I rejected all this. This is why I got up here in 2017. Everybody's talking some MGTOW. I understand women. I'm red pill. I understand women. I know how to work the system so I can get some pussy. I said, that's all y'all are doing. I said, the women are just a freaking tool. They part of the system. They're just objects that they use in the. This man, why do you think I said I was black pill since the very beginning? I'm technically red pill because being red pill is being aware of all the fakeness, but you poon hounds hijack red pills. That's why they say I'm black pill. And again, it's all redundant anyway, but you guys get what I'm saying. I've been saying this since day one. And again, it's all connected, bro.
That bullshit. So you goddamn right. I'ma keep screaming their ass on until they put me in the ground. You goddamn right. Moral motherfuckers.
That's the energy that's out there in the streets. That's the energy. Is there anything noble about this? You hear what they talking about? You discard. You ain't shit. You ain't nothing. That's the energy. We all fuck the same hoes. That's why I talk the way I talk. They're all connected. The couple of lemmings y'all don't like when I talk like this. Get off my channel. You clicked on my face. I don't care. Y'all getting this true. I'm gonna keep talking about it. They're all drinking from the same spiritual well. Woe to the man that molds himself. Did that video the other day. Only had about 10, 12 minute average watch time. Y'all clicked off. Y'all don't be watching that shit. Might be speaking that truth. I gave y'all solutions on that damn video. And I gave y'all solutions. 10-minute watch time, really? Y'all clicking on a 40-minute video, raw truth. Y'all do that all the time, man. I be giving y'all some raw truth. Y'all don't want to hear it. Unless I'm roasting women. Oh, y'all listen to that. I'm roasting women, sure. Talking about women all the time. Oh, yeah, because y'all are mad. Y'all are mad because the romantic fairy tale is shattered. And you're upset. And you want women to come back hat in hand to apologize. The Jezebel doesn't apologize. The Jezebel isn't going to come back hat in hand. The Jezebel going to go fuck somebody else. Or she'll take hell over coming back and saying, I'm sorry, sir. You right, massa. Oh, you so right, sir. You the smart man. The Jezebel's not going to do that. You're wasting your time thinking these women are going to come back hat in hand and apologizing. Not going to happen. Jezebel went out with 2 middle fingers, said, fuck y'all, man. That's what the Jezebel spirit does, and they all got it. The majority. For you all police. For you all police. You guys know goddamn well it's the majority. For the 2 women that don't do that. Stop it. And for you 2 people that are in successful relationships, stop it. The majority of them aren't. The majority of people are not in happy relationships. The majority of people are part of this freaking program. I ain't 10 on. I told you, this is all on the fly. I ain't even. This is good shit. Let's continue. I had to go on my little ramble here. Y'all know how I do. Y'all clicked in my face, man.
Is transactional. Understanding this is not about succumbing to bitterness. It is the first essential step toward liberation.
Should be liberated.
It is the moment you stop living for external validation and start building a core of unshakable self-worth.
Thank you for confirming what I've been saying. Why are you getting up here talking about not having sex? I'm trying to get y'all to free your mind. I've been doing this since I was 11, right from Street Fighter. I've been saying that, man. I was 11 years old. I didn't have to be told to do that. That just seemed right to me. And I've been doing that ever since. I'm preaching to somebody. Somebody's getting it.
Step toward liberation. It is the moment you stop living for external validation and start building a core of unshakable self-worth that cannot be taken from you by the fickleness of circumstance or the betrayal of others.
Oh, good shit, sir. Good quote. Fickleness of circumstance and the fickleness of others. That's why I said, even if you get your woman, rules, principles, and standards, you already got your core. Doesn't guarantee she's going to stick around. More than likely, she's not going to stick around. Might get you 3 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 15, maybe 20. It's eventually going to end, though. But you good, though, because you're not basing your self-worth on that. I know it's easier said than done because we got too many romantic gumps out there. But again, let he who receive, man. You have no choice but go inward. I've been saying this for the longest time. You have no choice but internal cultivation. I've been saying this. I ain't even, like I said, this. I'm just listening to this video, same as you guys, and he already confirming what I've been saying. That's why I know I'm on that path. The universal infinite intelligence, baby. Your boy know what he's talking about. Let's keep going. Good shit. Good
And
shit.
start building a core of unshakable self-worth that cannot be taken from you by the fickleness of circumstance or the betrayal of others. But the story doesn't end with the filed away report.
Okay.
The
Got
truth
more.
has a way of seeping out. In the aftermath of this suppression, the psychological impact on the men who fought and returned to a shattered world is where the story becomes even darker and more directly relevant.
The truth has a way of seeping out. That's what's happening. The truth is seeping out. You can keep shadow banning and shutting it down. It's going to seep out. You can't uncover the truth. It's going to seep out, man. Amen to that, bro.
Today, because the impact on the men who fought and returned to a shattered world is where the story becomes even darker and more directly relevant to the male experience today. Because the men who came home from the POW camps in 1945 or who trudged back from the Eastern Front didn't just find their cities in ruins, they found their lives stolen, their wives gone, and their children calling another man father. The great silence that fell over Germany after the war wasn't just the silence of defeat, it was the silence of a generation of men who had been psychologically castrated, first by the state that betrayed them, and then by the peace that offered them no justice. But what happened when the soldiers came home? The war was lost, the report was still buried, and millions of men were about to confront the brutal reality that the Spengler Report had predicted. Now we will descend into the chaos of post-war Germany, a world where the betrayed became the forgotten. We will uncover the stories of these men, their silent trauma, and how the victorious Allies, in a stunning twist of historical irony, inadvertently perpetuated the very same cycle of male disposability. The burial of the report was only the beginning. The real tragedy was what happened when the truth was left to rot in the ground.
The ghost of defeat, betrayal, silence, and the inheritance of male trauma. Okay.
The silence of the grave that fell over Europe in May of 1945 was not a peaceful one. It was a heavy, suffocating blanket of ash, regret, and unspoken truths. For the millions of German men who began the long, humiliating trek back to what was left of their homeland, the battle was not over. It was merely transforming. They had survived a war of steel and fire, only to be marched into a new, more insidious war of the spirit. These were the men, the boys who had become old in the frozen hell of Stalingrad, the soldiers who had witnessed the industrial slaughter of the Eastern Front, the prisoners who had endured years of starvation and brutality in Soviet camps. They were returning to a world they had been promised was worth dying for. But the Spengler Report, buried in the ashes of the SS headquarters, had already prophesied the hollow victory that awaited them. The front line they were about to face was the threshold of their own homes. Imagine him. His name is Eric. He is 24 years old, but carries the face of a man of 50. His uniform is in tatters, his body racked with dysentery, his mind a haunted gallery of the friends he saw blown to pieces. For 3 years, his only sustenance, his only reason to claw his way through one more day in a Siberian labor camp, was the memory of his wife Greta. Her face, the smell of her hair, the sound of her laughter, these were sacred relics he protected from the encroaching madness. After a journey of months, walking, hitching on carts, he finally stands on the street where he once lived. The city is a jagged silhouette against the sky, a landscape of rubble. But his building, miraculously, still stands. With a heart pounding, not with joy, but with a terrifying, hopeful dread, he climbs the stairs. He knocks on the door. It opens. And there stands Greta. She is older, harder, her eyes guarded. Behind her, a child, a little girl of about 2 hides in her skirts, staring at the skeletal stranger in the doorway. And then a man's voice calls from inside the apartment. Who is it, Greta? In that moment, Eric's entire world, the one he had fought for, suffered for, and survived for, evaporates.
Nothing new under the sun. That is happening right now. It's been happening. This space wouldn't exist if this wasn't a lot of guys' realities. A spiritual war. This loop that he's talking about is all too common nowadays.
Is not a returning hero. He is a ghost, an inconvenient reminder of a past everyone is desperate to forget. This scene, in its countless variations, was the true legacy of the buried Spengler Report.
Countless variations.
It was a silent, domestic apocalypse playing out on a scale of millions. The returning soldiers encountered a society turned upside down. The men were gone, and in their absence, a new social order had emerged, one run by and for women. This was the Trümmerfrauen narrative, the rubble women, that would later be celebrated as a symbol of German resilience. Strong, indefatigable women clearing the bricks of their shattered cities with their bare hands.
Nothing new under the sun, y'all. This is all a goddamn repeat.
Women did perform in resilience. Strong, indefatigable women clearing the bricks of their shattered cities with their bare hands. And there was truth in this. Women did perform heroic, back-breaking labor. But this image, promoted heavily in the post-war years, served to obscure a darker, more complex reality. It painted a picture of universal female virtue and sacrifice, effectively whitewashing the rampant infidelity and social fragmentation that the Spengler Report had documented. For every woman clearing rubble out of civic duty, there was another who had secured her survival through more pragmatic and often ruthless means. The rubble these men had to clear was not just physical, it was the rubble of their own identities, the shattered illusion of their place in the world. The mechanisms of betrayal were coldly efficient. Many returning soldiers found that their wives had initiated divorce proceedings during their absence, often on the grounds of abandonment, a breathtaking legal fiction where the state-sanctioned act of going to war was twisted into a personal failing of the husband. The courts, now staffed by officials trying to demonstrate their denazification credentials, overwhelmingly sided with the women. Men who had spent years in POW camps returned to find their property seized, their bank accounts emptied, and their children given the surnames of their mother's new lovers.
Guys, we are in a repeat. Again, despite what you think about their political views and all that shit, nothing's changed. That's slit. Get that table. Hey, bro. Hey, man, they gonna survive, y'all. They're going to survive, bro. Kill that romance crap, unconditional love forever and ever and ever. That's why I say lose your damn job. Or tell her no. Tell her no in series and see what happens. See how long that love, that unconditional love, see how long that lasts. And dudes know this. A lot of guys don't want to accept the truth. A lot of guys know this is true. Don't want to accept it. Want to be one of them I need my wife ass ninjas.
The phenomenon was so widespread it earned a name. Uncle Eric syndrome. The Uncle Eric syndrome, where a child would be taught to call the returning biological father uncle.
Wow.
To avoid confusing them with the new man in the house, the man who represented stability and, most importantly, access to resources from the occupying Allied forces. This is where the historical irony becomes so thick you could choke on it. The victorious Allies, the Americans, British, and French, who had fought to destroy the Nazi ideology of racial superiority, now became the unwitting actors in the final act of the Spengler Report's prophecy. The report had identified that female loyalty shifted towards men who offered heightened status and security. In 1945, there was no greater symbol of status and security than a member of the victorious Allied armies. The American GI, with his cigarettes, his nylon stockings, his chocolate, and his seemingly inexhaustible supply of canned food, was a god walking the earth. He represented the ultimate hypergamous leap. For a German woman, association with an American was a ticket out of the starvation and despair of the post-war years.
Passport bros, passport bros, passport bros, passport bros. Nigga, if you a simp over here, they gonna chew your ass up and spit you out, bro. Nothing's changed. Dudes wanna go over to foreign countries and stuff. Those women ain't got no choice but act a certain way. And then what happens when they get their freedom? What happens whenever the mask comes off? What happens to a lot of those guys? Chew you up and spit you out. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed.
Fräulein Wunder was coined, often with a sleazy, comedic tone that masked the profound tragedy at its core. It described the eager fraternization between German women and Allied soldiers, but for the German men, watching from the shadows, emaciated and defeated, it was not a wonder. It was the final, humiliating confirmation of their utter disposability. They had lost the war, and now they were losing their women to the very men who had defeated them. The Spengler Report's cold analysis that loyalty follows resources was being played out on a grand geopolitical scale. The victors not only took the spoils of war, they often took the wives and daughters of the vanquished. The psychological impact on these men is almost impossible to overstate. This was a trauma with no name, no recognition, and no outlet. They could not speak of their pain.
They didn't have YouTube. They couldn't do this. They couldn't share information. They couldn't talk about this. They had to keep that shit inward and deal with that, man. Golly, bro. That's what I said. Some young guys better consider yourselves lucky you got this social media and stuff. This talk a lot of crap about the internet and stuff, but it is a blessing too, because you got information. People can share their stories, their experiences. It is what it is. I couldn't do this in the 90s, early 2000s. I didn't have YouTube. I had to freaking cultivate inward when I was by myself, walking this path. I didn't have these videos, nobody to go to, nobody to listen to. That's another reason I'd be so harsh, man. I had to go inward. Everybody around me was following the goddamn social norms. And here I am up here just like, something don't feel right, walking by my damn self. So you goddamn right, I'm gonna be a little harsh. If it's too much, then go somewhere else, man. Cultivate inward, bro. I didn't have this crap, man.
State. This was a trauma with no name, no recognition, and no outlet. They could not speak of their pain. To complain was to be labeled a sore loser, a Nazi sympathizer, a man unable to accept the consequences of a war his nation had started. Their trauma was deemed illegitimate. They were expected to simply swallow their pride, their grief, and their rage, and get to work rebuilding a nation that had, in their eyes, betrayed them twice. First, by sending them to a futile war, and second, by discarding them upon their return.
Again, nothing's changed. They want them to act like Hank Hill. I'm playing it. I don't care. They want y'all to act like Hank Hill, even right now. Again, that's why he's saying it right now. In this spiritual war we're in, they want you acting like this.
How do you not cry?
Well, instead of letting it out, try holding it in. Every time you have a feeling, just stick it into a little pit inside your stomach and never let it out.
Are you supposed to have a pain under your rib?
Yes, that's natural. The body doesn't want to swallow its emotions. But now you go ahead and put that pain inside your stomach too.
I think it's working, Uncle Hank. I feel sick, but not sad.
There you go.
That's that blue pill Hank Hill shit. That's how they want you doing. Just shut up and take it. Cross the T, dot the I. Don't question anything. Just take it. Don't you? Men shouldn't talk. Again, what they call you, gay, sassy. They quick to call you gay. You hate women. What does the society do? Nothing's changed. Same psychological warfare. We're dealing with it right now. Dudes don't want to speak out. A lot of guys are, but a lot of guys still scared to say something. This is good shit. This is good shit.
Generation of betrayed them twice. First, by sending them to a futile war, and second, by discarding them upon their return. This created a generation of silent, hollow men. They became the stoic, emotionally distant fathers and grandfathers of the German Wirtschaftswunder, the economic miracle. They poured all of their unexpressed anguish into their work, building the factories and offices of the new Germany, while their inner world remained a frozen Stalingrad. The male spirit was not broken on the battlefield. It was systematically dismantled in the quiet treachery of the post-war home. This silent trauma did not vanish. It was inherited. The sons of these men grew up with a father who was a ghost in his own house, physically present but emotionally absent, incapable of warmth, quick to anger, and utterly incapable of articulating why. These sons never learned how to be men from their fathers because their fathers had been psychologically neutered by a trauma they could not name. They inherited a legacy of shame, silence, and a deep, unspoken suspicion of women and the institutions that protected them. The chain of male trauma was forged link by link, from the state that demanded everything, to the women whose loyalty proved conditional, to the sons who were raised without a map to their own masculinity. This is the real, lingering poison of the buried report. Its suppression ensured that the wound would never be cleaned, never be treated, and would instead fester for generations. The story of the Spengler Report is, therefore, not a relic. It is the foundational case study for understanding the modern male condition. The specific ideology of the Third Reich is an extreme, but the underlying dynamic is a universal constant. Look at the world today. The modern system makes the same implicit contract with men that the Nazi state did, albeit in a softer, more insidious form.
Yep. What did my boy say? What did my boy say? Oh, where is it? I'm doing this on the fly again. This bears repeating. Where is it at? Where is it at?
Love has increasingly been tied to money, expensive gifts, luxury bags, and costly dating rituals. For many men, the costs have outweighed the benefits, leading to growing disillusionment with marriage and dating. One online post put it this way: I was led to believe that being good to someone meant I could win their heart, but in reality, I was just paying for an illusion.
It's so warped now that you can protect and provide, and it still isn't enough. That's how warped it is now. You can have peace, no drama, no chaos, doing everything right and still lose. That's how far gone it is now. It's even worse now. Generational curses get worse. Man, it's good stuff, man. This is good stuff.
To die in a trench. Same implicit contract with men that the Nazi state did, albeit in a softer, more insidious form. You are not asked to die in a trench, but you are expected to sacrifice your health, your time, your youth, and your spirit on the altar of the corporate ladder. You are told to be a provider, a protector, a stoic rock. The promised reward is a family, a loyal partner, a place of respect. But the system, just like the Nazi state, is built on a lie. It refuses to acknowledge the dark, uncomfortable truths about human nature that the Spengler Report laid bare. It promotes a fantasy of unconditional female loyalty while constructing a legal and social framework that makes betrayal not just easy, but often incentivized.
And often incentivized. Often incentivized. Where is she? Where is she? Oh, where is she? Because this is perfect right now. Y'all give me a second. I have to play her. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Why are women filing for divorce so much more than men now?
Women now have more resources, more education than ever. So they can go to school, they can get a job, they can earn as much as men, and this means that they are more entitled to be independent and on their own if they're not happy in their marriage. Secondly, there is no societal obligation to stay in an unhappy marriage. Secondly, there is no societal obligation to stay in an unhappy marriage. Secondly, there is no societal obligation to stay in an unhappy marriage. If they don't like their partner, sayonara.
Nothing has changed. Nothing new under the sun, people. Boy, I tell you, boy, like the video. It's good shit.
Of unconditional female loyalty, while constructing a legal and social framework that makes betrayal not just easy, but often incentivized.
Often incentivized.
Secondly, there is no societal obligation to stay in an unhappy marriage.
Often incentivized to leave, even though everything's great. I left a good man. He was a good woman. Had to divorce her husband. It's a good man. Nothing has changed. Our war is a spiritual war. We're not in the trenches, but we are in a freaking war right now, and it's for the war of the mind. I told you, man, I love being at the forefront talking. Hey, man, I feel empowered, boy. Y'all kiss my butt, man. I've been on it, man. That just motivated me even more so. Nothing has changed, man. Nothing has changed, bro. And again, 99% of women are under this romantic indoctrination. How can you, as a man who was woke from the bullshit, and then in turn have a bunch of women, bunch of people who are asleep around you? It won't mix. It can't mix. I've been saying this for the longest time. These dudes that get caught up in this marriage is the nice guy and all that. I said, y'all been listening. I was like, there is a spiritual kinsmanship there. There is a spiritual connection in the spirit of ignorance. Otherwise, that reality wouldn't be real. They wouldn't be together if there wasn't some spiritual connection. I've been saying this for the longest time. It all makes sense, man. That's why I ain't got no connection to this crap. I'm dead to this world as far as I'm concerned. I want nothing to do with this, even in a casual manner. I'm not sleeping with them in a casual manner because the spirit is still the spirit of delusion. You're still connected to this shit. And it does matter who you sleep with as a man. Y'all believe that goddamn lie. You got to be connected to this on a spiritual scale. I do a fuck. Really? Really? Okay, you do you, man. You do you.
Fails to conditional female loyalty, while constructing a legal and social framework that makes betrayal not just easy, but often incentivized. When a man fails to provide, when he loses his job, when he suffers a mental health crisis, when he simply shows vulnerability, the mechanisms of disposability click into place with the same cold efficiency as a 1944 divorce court. The Dear John letter is now a text message. The new Gauleiter's assistant is the hyper-successful CEO or the charming new man he meets at the office. The principle is identical.
Understanding this is not a descent into misogyny. It is the first and most crucial step toward genuine masculine empowerment. The black pill is not about hating women. It is about seeing the game clearly with all its brutal rules for the first time.
Say that, brother. Say that, man. That's why I said I'm not black pill, but some of you dudes are this negative. Y'all want to just wallow in your self-despair. Why do you guys want to wallow in your self-despair and anger? Because you're romantic. Because you're romantic. You don't want to do the self-work. You don't want to level up. Don't want to work out. Don't want to better yourself. You want romance. That's why y'all are upset. That's why I had to go in on you Ted Bundy Jr.'s coming on my page with that dumb shit. You're romantic. And you're upset because the idea of romance is shattered. And that you, I actually had to do, because I was going in on Passport Bros. I'm like, bro, those women over there are going to put up masks because, again, you are their meal ticket. You get off when crushing our hopes and dreams. I'm just trying to be realistic, man. Stop acting like a puss. That's all I'm trying to do is hold a mirror to this crap, man. I'm not trying to discourage you or make you bitter. I'm trying to free your mind, Neo. But some dudes want to be, just like the Matrix said, you want to double down and just be connected to this shit. It should be liberating. If you're going to get involved with one, rules, principles, and standards, kill that unconditional love shit. More than likely, you're dealing with a woman whose bottom's already been knocked out. She can't soul tie to you anyway. So you're just there more so out of convenience. Enjoy it if you're going to get involved. If she leaves, you the same either way. Either way is all I'm saying if you're going to get involved with one. Just know that getting involved. If you lose your job, if you get injured, it's a high probability she's going to be out the door. Now, the woman, we talk through them. Oh, I would never do that. I would never do that. You don't know until you're in the muck and mire, and it's a high probability since 99% under the romantic indoctrination, she's going to be out the door. It's a high probability. You can gamble on it, but just know that going in. You see how I say that? I don't say swear off women. I say if you're going to get involved, there ain't no peace there, though. There ain't no peace. There ain't no peace. Oh, no. You always going to be getting shit tested, sir. No peace there. I want a woman to be my peace. You lose. Doesn't work like that. I am going to tell you that. Do what you want to do. Think for yourself. But make sure you're doing it for you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I gave y'all that video I did the other day. Woe to the man who bases self-worth on a woman. 10-minute watch time. You didn't want to hear that. Giving you that raw black pill truth. Y'all don't want to hear it. But I'm going to keep doing it, though. I'm going to keep doing it because I'm speaking in truth. I'm speaking in truth, and that's all I can do. The universe is watching. I may not be getting the recognition that I be wanting sometimes, but I know the universe. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my freaking part. I can say that. So I'll be listening to people talking shit behind avatars and don't be showing your face. Get off my goddamn channel. I stand for something. So that's that real, bro. That's that black pill real. I told you, man. Had one of them simps gonna come out. You can't claim to be black pill. Basically saying I can't say I'm black pill because I'm 6'4" and a charming, handsome bastard and shit. I done told you guys, none of that crap matters if you're a simp. I done played all kinds of big goofs out here. Dwight Howard's goof ass. Deontay Wilder's goof ass. Doesn't matter if you're a freaking simp. Your size and all that shit, penis size don't matter because you can't compete with the imprint anyway. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. It should be liberating. It should be liberating.
The black pill is not about hating women. It is about seeing the game clearly with all its brutal rules for the first time.
Say that.
The Spengler Report is the ultimate black pill document because it provides historical, empirical proof that the romantic ideal sold to men is a dangerous fantasy. The liberation comes when you stop playing the game by rules designed for you to lose. When you internalize the fact that
it's gonna cost me the woman ass ninjas. What does that tell you about a lot of men's mentality? Telling them what they want to hear. Wouldn't get no ass if I didn't lead with all that shit, knowing damn well you're deceiving and lying. You gotta be part of that system. I've been saying this for the longest time, man. You must not get a lot of women talking like that. Dudes y'all want to be lied to. Y'all want to be lied to. Some of y'all so gone, y'all want to be lied to. I don't do that over here. You clicked on the wrong person, man. You clicked on the wrong person, bro. Love being vindicated, bro. This just motivated me. Boy, I tell you, man.
The liberation comes when you stop playing the game by rules designed for you to lose. When you internalize the fact that your worth cannot and should not be contingent.
I'm gonna finish this up. I just did that. The illusion of choice. You have no choice when you play this part. When you play this part, playing the game, being Mr. Nice Guy, conforming to her, you have the illusion of choice. And again, this society has masterfully gaslit men to make you think that you have a choice in this matter. You don't. You don't. I gotta do another video. More women calling dudes gay because dudes ain't playing the game anymore. They're cracking. They don't know what to do. Liberating, y'all. Liberating.
Playing the game by rules designed for you to lose. When you internalize the fact that your worth cannot and should not be contingent on your utility to a woman or a state that views you as disposable. You become free. Your mission shifts from seeking external validation to building an internal fortress.
Goodness. I love it, guys. I've been telling you for the longest time. Those who've been listening, I've been saying the same thing, haven't I?
I know my own destiny, Uncle.
Is it your own destiny? Or is it a destiny someone else has tried to force on you?
Stop it, Uncle. I have to do this.
I'm begging you, Prince Zuko. It's time for you to look inward and begin asking yourself the big questions. Who are you? And what do you want?
I've been playing Uncle Iroh for years, y'all. Your boy has been on it. Boy, this has empowered me. But I tell you, man. I know everybody ain't gonna try to. Let he who receive, man. Again, I've been talking this since 2017. Only had 3,000 subs in 8 years. That just tells you right there how people that y'all want to be lied to. Y'all don't want to hear this truth. Y'all don't want to hear the imprint. I be talking about the imprint. Y'all don't like when I talk like that. We all fuck the same hoes. Y'all don't like when I talk like that. The couple lemmings. I'm gonna keep doing it because it's true. It's true. I'm gonna keep doing it. So it is what it is, man. Let's finish this up, man. This is good. We're doing all this on the fly. I told you, man. I just let me listen. Something my spirit said. Do a reaction to this, man. I'm glad I listened.
You become free. Your mission shifts from seeking external validation to building an internal fortress. Your purpose is no longer to be a hero in a story written by others, but to become the author of your own story. The men who survived the post-war silence ultimately did so by turning inward. They found solace not in a society that had rejected them, but in the quiet dignity of their own labor, in the small communities of other broken men, in the stoic acceptance of a world they could not change. Theirs was a grim, uncelebrated resilience. But your path does not have to be so bleak. You have the advantage of hindsight. You have the Spengler Report, not as a source of despair, but as a key. It unlocks the understanding that the feelings of betrayal, the confusion, the anger you may feel are not a personal failing. They are the rational response of a man waking up to the nature of the system he was born into. Your duty is not to rebuild a nation that does not value you. Your duty is to rebuild yourself.
That's it.
Forge a purpose that is yours alone.
That's all you can do, man. This is your solution. Another solution for you.
Cultivate a strength that is not dependent on the approval of others. Build a life that cannot be taken from you by the fickleness of circumstance. The darkest truth the Nazis ever buried was not about the women. It was about the system's absolute willingness to sacrifice the masculine soul. Knowing that truth is your armor. Living in spite of it is your victory.
Living in spite of it. God dang right.
The report was buried so that men would never learn this lesson. Now that you know, the silence is finally broken.
Something in my spirit, y'all. Something in my spirit said, do a reaction to this. Because I wasn't going to do it at first. I was like, something in my spirit said, do a reaction to this video. And I'm glad I did. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit. I wouldn't even say that. I told you we did all that on the fly, man. I love hearing my talking points reinforced, man. Internal cultivation is your answer. That is your solution. If you're a romantic ass ninja, you're gonna fail. Again, I keep telling you, the video's done, guys. The video's done. I'm pretty much just rambling now because I'm in the mood. Where my boy at? Some of you guys want to be this dude so bad. Where's my boy at? Where is he at, man? Where is this guy? I gotta find him. Where is this? There he is. Y'all want to be this guy.
I need my wife.
Mm-hmm.
I need my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't ever want that to be confused nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So much of who I am is because of who my wife has been in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of who you've been in my life. You have given me everything that I need to have the the desire and the drive and all of that stuff developed in me to want to be able to become more, to do more, to be more intentional, to give a little bit more effort, to show up better for myself and in the world and all of that stuff. Like, you contributed to a lot of that. And I've learned that being with you. And that's how you've contributed to me being able to learn a lot of the lessons that I've learned as a man, as a husband, as a father. I've gotten a lot of that stuff just from us being together. Like, I wouldn't have learned these things had you not been there. So I give you all that credit. Because you created a space for me to be able to learn that stuff and to grow in those ways.
Yes. Yes.
Like, that's what my wife does for me. That's what my spouse, my partner, my best friend, that's what she does for me. That's what you have done for me for years.
I tell you, shut your bitch ass up.
Ah, that was a good one, y'all. That was a good one, man. That's it, man. I ain't got nothing else to add, man. Nothing new under the sun. Our war is a spiritual war, man. For those of you that are molding yourself, basing yourself on this woman, selling your soul, you a winner! You a winner! You a winner! Hey, man, I love being vindicated, bro. Internal cultivation, man. It is what it is. But I ain't got nothing else to add on that one. That was a good one, man. Survey says one more for the good guys. I'm out, good peoples. Laters.